Hello and welcome to the WERS website. My name is Russell Harris and I'm from the Australian Glass and Window Association. Today I'd like to show you some of the new features and functionality in the WERS website. And starting here from the Australian Glass and Window Association, we can navigate to the WERS website by clicking here for WERS or here. So we'll do that now and we'll just go into the WERS website. What you'll notice straight away is this bit of text here, which talks about the fact that the site's being updated, and currently not all of the ratings have been migrated across to the new website. So for a short time, we'll be maintaining the old website, and to navigate to the old website, you can click here to get the previous ratings or the previous website. But looking forward, we have 4 individual pages on the website, each for residential and commercial windows, skylights and films. To demonstrate the functionality, I'll focus on the residential windows. So we'll just click through and head in. And we can see this is where it takes us. So clicking through, we land on the residential search page. The page is separated into 2 parts. We have the search filter panel here on the left and the results panel on the right. We can close the filter panel if we like, so we can see the full width. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of data here. You can scroll across and navigate. And yeah, there's around 200 records per page, and there's obviously quite a few pages there when we look at the full results. But the search panel allows us to narrow that quite a bit. Typically, when we start looking for a rating, we have a performance band we're looking for. So we've got minimum and maximum, upper and lower limits to our U value. So we might start putting in some values, and let's say we're looking at something between 2 and 5 in terms of U value. We would typically start with some kind of idea of the whether we want low solar gain or high solar gain. So for the purpose of this, let's just say we're looking for sort of something in the middle, around about a 0.5. We'll go 0.45. We also have upper and lower limits on the tolerances allowed. So currently under NatHERS or BASICs, it's typically plus or minus 10%, in some cases plus or minus 5%. But we can go, -5 plus 10 if we want. Not sure why we would, but you can still, I guess the purpose is you can start with a wide search and then narrow in as you get your results, closer and closer. So this is a process of elimination and narrowing in on the results you want. So you can see by putting in these parameters, we've reduced the search criteria, the results by more than half or less than half. We can also narrow that search by visible light transmittance, and we can then filter these results. So looking at these results, we might say, I'm interested in operating types. Okay, so we'll go down to operating types and say, look, I know I'm looking for awning windows. I need a sliding door. I'm also going to need sliding windows. And let's, for good sake, we need some fixed windows. And maybe a louver. There's our louver. There's our louver. Let's call it that. That's what we're looking for in our house lot. We can also introduce other filters such as frame materials. We can nominate whether we want single glazed or double glazed, triple glazed. But for the purpose of the exercise, to really demonstrate the functionality, I'd like to not refine the search any more than that. And let's just have a look at what around about 5,000 records look like in the graph, in the table. So this is the table view here. I'll expand it so you can see it. You can see we've got 1 to 200 of 4,500. That's quite a few. We do have functionality to be able to search, and we can sort these by smallest to largest in U value, solar heat gain, or anything like that. But where the real magic happens is on the graph view. So I'd just like to take a minute to explain this. What you can see here is a box, and you can see lots of dots in that box. The scale of the graph is fundamentally U value from 0 to 7 on the x-axis and solar heat gain from 0 to 1 on the y. So as we go up, solar gain increases, and as we go up this way to the right, U value increases. So what we've done with our filter, we've constrained that between 2 and 5 U value and plus or minus 20% on a nominal 0.45. So you can see this is returning all the results that match our search criteria. It's also filtering the results by the operating types that we selected. So we're only getting the results that we asked for. Now, this is still a bit of a mess because you can see there's way too many products there for me to really get a feel for. But what we can do, and I apologize for this, I'm presenting this on a small screen, so I do need to scroll down to access this. If you've got a typical size monitor, you won't need to do that. But this aggregate data here, or data aggregation, is a very powerful tool because at the moment we're aggregating by frame material. So what you can see here is the scale. You can see all the different colors represent different frame materials, and you can see timber, composite, aluminium, they're all there. And you can see you get a sense of the relative performance of each frame material in this view. Equally, we can have a look by glass specification, and we can see single glazed through to triple glazed. Not too much triple glaze that I can see here. I'm sure if I zoom in, there'll be some there, but it's mostly, as you'd expect, single glazed and double glazed through that range. So this is an interesting way to slice and dice the data and hone in on selection. But furthermore, I can click on any individual dot here and I can get a sense of what that product is. And I can keep going. I can select multiple and compare them. And the idea being that I'm trying to narrow in on a search result that I'm interested in. At any time through this process, I can nominate a product as a favorite. So let's say I really like this product. I would use this product many, time and time again. Same as this one. I can go through and I can highlight these. I can also nominate favorites from the graph view. So from the table view, I can click on the little star button and I've nominated that and that as a favorite as well. And I can view them at any time by going into the favorites tab, and there they are. Just for the sake of the exercise, I'm just going to go through and randomly select a few more just to build up a bit of a favorites library. These are cached to your local memory, so they'll be there next time you come back in. And what you can see here is the little orange triangles represent your favorites that you've pre-selected. And they'll appear anytime you view this data and your favorite appears in the search criteria that you've selected. So we've now built up a little bit of a library. We could say, favorites. I'd expect in the real world, your favorites folder would be quite a bit fuller than this. But we also have this functionality called job, and this is where we can generate a certificate from what we're doing. Now, to populate this, I'll just clear all these because these have come through from a previous work. In the table view or the graph view, we have this house, and if I select any one of those, they go green, and that means that product has been selected for my job, for the job I'm particularly working on right now. So, and this is separate to your favorites, because your favorites you come back to time and time again. Job is the job you're doing right now. I can select these from graph view as well. I can select all of that, click another one, and I can also select the job from my favorites. So I can select that one and that one and that one. So now if I go into the jobs tab, I've built up a bit of a library. These are all the products that I've selected for my particular job, and I can request a certificate. When I request a certificate, it opens this little pop-up, which asks me to populate the details. Now I need to put in my company name. I'll put in the address and the state. It will remember the company I work for, my name and my email address, so you don't need to enter those every time. But you can change them if you want to. And then I can send that off. Now that'll go straight to my email, and I will just open that up now. There we go, and I will click on the link to get my certificate. And that's what the new certificate looks like. It nominates the client, it generates the certificate number, gives all the parameters for the thing. I need to have a look at why we're getting an invalid date there, because I'm sure today's date is real. But there's all the products that I have for my particular job, for this particular address. So I'm able to generate a certificate. That's in HTML. It can print fairly easily. On the email, there are some print instructions because HTML can be a little bit funny with the print settings. So if you have any trouble, just go back to the email and there's help there. But that's about it. If you have any questions, more than happy to help out. You can contact me or any one of our team through the AGWA website by calling us or emailing technical@agwa.com.au at any time. Thank you much for your time and all the best.